Welcome, everyone. Well, I have to look up. Oh, it's the 15th of August. Great, 2023. And we are in what I call there's part one and part two. I always do that of the second section. And we're making a lot of progress here. Today we're going to move on to diagonal flying after some review. But the other thing I've realized is that we really haven't paid much attention to gaze. And so what I'd like to do as we warm up today with everything that we know is just talk about your gaze. I mean, talk about where it's going. Now, some of you are very new to Tai Chi and your gaze isn't going to go there because you're going to go, oh, is this a bow step? And you're going to look down. Or you are going to be trying to crane your neck to see what I'm doing. That's okay. But I'd like you to know, and whenever you can, to see if you can start training your gaze so that it's actually moving with you, because through your eyes is where the whole spirit of your Tai Chi is going to manifest itself. Your intention is going to manifest itself. Sometimes we want that intention to be really clear in our demonstration, but sometimes we're actually actively obscuring it in a few of them. So that's kind of interesting too. So first of all, just some tips as we practice. You always want your head up, right? You want your eyes open, your spirit up, right? So sort of that, not completely wide-eyed, but that powerful look. I don't, want to look at myself while I do it, so I have no idea if I have it, but you want to be grounded and you want the eyes to be alive, right? So you're looking out of those eyes and they're going to tell people that you are unified in what it is that you're about. So your gaze becomes really important. Hard when you're learning, but when you're practicing, you want to work on that gaze. You're going to look out horizontally. So when I say look in the direction of sort of the leading hand, the hand that's leading, that does not mean look at your hand. It means look out, but have your head turning in the direction of that hand, right? If I say glance, then you're turning your head somewhat, but your eyes are moving further, okay? So that's one of the differences. And you'll pick up sort of what's going on. When our body turns, our head's going to turn, right? If our whole body turns, if our shoulders turn, our head is going to turn. So you're still just looking out horizontally, like past your nose, right? So that's kind of, that happens. But sometimes your body, may or may not go with your gaze, right? So I mean, every once in a while, your gaze may be following something else. So, at the end of a move, oftentimes your gaze is going to follow the energy. So it's another tip. So let's practice, and I'll be talking. I'll call it, but I'll also try to fit in where your gaze is. So you can try it if you want. All right. We'll begin with the first section. Our head is up. We're in prepare. Oh, remember, just about to sit on that chair. Our body's extended. We are suspended. Think of your whole body as suspended. That neck is really long. Your eyes are open. You're looking forward horizontally. And opening. We'll just keep looking horizontally. Left ward off. As our heads are up, notice. Now we're going to look to 12 o'clock, following that right arm, and then over to 3 o'clock to the side of the room. Right ward off. Our body's turning, our gaze is turning. We're turning back, left arm, follow that left arm. Follow that left arm. Now keep staying forward with that gaze. Roll back. Follow that right arm. Here it comes. All the way. Keep following. And now here comes the energy. Follow that energy towards your opponent. Push. Single whip. Keep looking forward as our hands flatten and we go back. When you start to pull, follow that left arm. And now follow your arms back and that right arm. Now the left arm. Your gaze is looking through the tiger's mouth. Don't forget, this is a vertical single whip. You're not like this. You're like this. A vertical bow step. Raise hands and step forward. As we move back, our gaze doesn't change, but as we turn, we move with our body. Now our gaze comes forward. Follow. Well, actually, keep your gaze mostly forward. It just moves a little to the left, but now it's going to look over your shoulder with a glance. Then it goes to 9 o'clock when your arms do. Following your right arm all the way back to the corner, almost. Then your left arm as it polishes the table. Hand strums the lute. Keep looking forward. Keep looking forward. Keep looking forward. Another brush knee. Let your gaze go towards the back corner. Your head doesn't actually turn all the way to the corner. Right brush knee. Gaze is to the right in front of you to 9 o'clock. Then as you move into the corner and back, it follows just like any brush knee. Same thing here. Gaze to 9 o'clock, stays at 9 o'clock. Now, as we move our weight forward, follow that swinging hand and then the polishing hand. Hand strums the lute. Gaze stays at 9 o'clock. And gaze turns to the right. And now back to the left and to 9 o'clock. Step up, parry, block, and punch. It's at 9. It's still at 9. Doesn't matter that our left foot turned out. And as we move and start to make that fist, it's going to follow your right arm. Keep following this right arm. Now we're going to stay because we're actually interacting with our opponent. So we stay at 9 o'clock. A parent closing up. Oh, are we interacting with our opponent here? We're going to just stay right there at 9 o'clock. And starting to come back, make that triangle, follow that right hand. Then from here, your eyes are going to gradually come back as your weight shifts looking at 12 o'clock. Cross hands. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. Just keep looking in front of your nose, but your nose's direction is changing, huh? Now, just like a brush knee, you're gonna look back, glancing back to that hand, polish the table following it, and the striking direction you are looking at the end. Roll back. Keep looking at that same direction, the direction of your front foot, and then follow as you turn. Your gaze comes back to your front direction as you press out. And push stays in that front direction, that front foot direction. Fist under elbow. Shifting back. Then as you grab, that's your lead arm. Your eyes are over that arm. Then the other one takes over and you come back to looking at 12 o'clock. And then the right arm, look out to 3. You've stepped. Now that's your new direction, and you're going to follow your left arm into that direction, that corner direction. You're grabbing there, so you're looking where the direction you're grabbing, but not at your hand. And as your body turns, you reestablish to 9 o'clock. Repulse monkey. Here you are interacting with your opponent the whole time. You are going to just keep looking at 9 o'clock. We're grabbing. We're preparing to meet with the strike. We're pulling. We're going to just keep looking, but make sure you're doing all of those turns. Your body's turning all over the place, but you are interacting with your opponent and you've got your eyes right on them. How was that? Yeah? Okay, good. Berlin, what'd you think?
That was great with the gaze thing. I mean, it's a nice thing to focus on, a new thing to focus on that makes the moves feel a lot more like rounded. I have a question about the very end of single whip, where you mentioned there's like a short look over the shoulder, and then you go when you spread the wings part.
It's actually not single whip, but I'll show you. I didn't mention everything. Okay, so yeah. So let's see if we can do it in this direction. So,
one. Yeah, sorry.
So here's single whip from this direction, right? So this is raise hands and step forward, right? Where we'll actually be doing one of these next week in a different way, where we shift our weight left and we release. And then, you know what? I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way instead. Okay. So we just done this move, right? And then it was the next move into white crane. So it's white crane, right? So yes. We're here and we contact our opponent and we pull them down. As we're pulling them down, our gaze gradually is moving in that direction. No, sorry. We are resisting. This is what's really hard when you break it down. You sort of resist. You kind of want to do this. You want to turn, but you don't. And I'll show you why. Because you make a little tiny turn and your gaze goes with that turn. Gosh, I can't do it slowly. Here we go. And then right here, you put your foot down, right? And then there is a hidden shoulder strike right here. And we don't really do it. I'm going to show it to you. You see that? but we don't do it. But our bow to it is that we look over our shoulder. So we're like this. We come down. We come down. And then, although our head turns, there's this little glance over our shoulder. And then we look that way. Just to kind of see if anyone, you know, if you got anybody. But you don't show, you don't, sorry. You know, you don't, but when you put your foot down, your shoulder moves. We just don't really push the energy out, right? But if you put your foot here and then you suddenly move, you have turned your shoulder, but you're going to make it smooth, right?
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Nice question. Any other questions about that? Because we're actually, yeah, Shelley. There you go.
On the raised hands, for some reason, I feel like I'm losing my kind of my hugging when I do raised hands, and I'm getting. So I'm here, and then I'm doing raised hands. How far back do you raise your hands? You know, this way I'm going to go. Bop, 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 bop.
Okay, so let me do it from here. How about that? Let me do it from here.
Yeah, okay. I'm just bringing my hands too far back.
Okay, so you know what, Shelley? We're going to do more on this next week. So this is really great that we've had these questions, because we're going to do more on it this week. And in the one after diagonal flying, which we're going to do today, the one after diagonal flying, it's a whole lot easier to do. Number one, you've done it before a million times, I'm sure. And the tip I'm going to give you for this works better. But when you're at this point, everyone, part of what you're doing is like raising your hand. Think of it as like, oh, think of it as, oh, right? Kind of. But what I want you to do is imagine somebody sort of jerked your belt back and your hands flew up. Okay? They jerked your belt back and your hands flew up, but they don't come, you didn't want your hands to fly up, right? Yep. And you can pull your own waist back by pulling it back, but you can, you know, which we do, we move this part of us a lot, right, in Tai Chi. But you can also, you are actually moving, even in this one, the one next week, you're moving more, but you're moving, you know, to the left and back here. So you want to sort of just imagine somebody behind you giving you a little pull, and let all of this be a result of just your body moving.
Perfect. Thank you.
When you do that, when you let, I'll have to send you folks a picture, but the truth is that in Tai Chi, almost all the time, you don't move your arms. Your body moves your arms. We just do it so slow that, but you know, it's not like I do this. It's like, you know, I send it from somewhere else in my body. It comes from moving, and that's true of this move as well. So if you're bringing your arms back too far, chances are they're not following your body, or they are following your body, but you're also trying to pull them back. And the two things together is too much. Yeah. Okay. Great. All right, how is everything else for folks? What else do we want to review? How are we feeling about the two we went over a lot last time, fist under elbow and repulsing the monkey? That's going okay. Okay, well, let's do a little bit. Let's do those again. Let's see. Fist under elbow, we would be in this corner to get started and push. And if you want to do a bow step to the corner, you can do a bow step to the corner, or you can make it inside the corner, wherever you usually are. So you're going to be, you're going to be away. And then we're going to come back and turn, just like single whip. Drop that elbow. Our left arm rotates and push out. Where are we looking right now? We're looking sort of in horizontally in the direction of our pushing hand. Then we're going to step out. And right after that, our gaze and our arm is going to move to ward off to that corner. Then we're going to step parallel as we don't really move anything else, but we grab. Then shift, big shift in the weight, pull down, make a fist, heel touch, and forward. Let's do that one more time and then we'll go on. Same direction. And coming back, grabbing, pulling around, drop the elbow, push, step to the corner, ward off to the corner, bring your other foot up, shift your weight to the right leg, and heel touch, strike. I mean, punch. And repulse monkey. Shifting back, rotating your left arm, left foot goes back. Toe ball heel and to the shoulder with your, bring it in just like for, it's ready to strike, like a brush knee. Then you're gonna pull with your left hand. Where do you get the power to pull? Get the power to pull by shifting back. Same time you turn to the left and strike out with your right hand. Where does your left hand end up? Next to your lower hip, palm up. And next, right foot goes back, left arm swings out, right hand palm up, toes touching. Toe ball heel. One line, two sides here on our footwork. And you have good body shape. All your weight should still be in the front. Pull. Strike. You turn to the right this time. And one more. Swinging out the right hand. Turning the left hand and stepping back with the left foot. Toe ball heel. And pull. Strike. Any questions about that? So I want to remind everybody, when you're striking out, what part of your hand is hitting your opponent? Yeah, Erlyn, exactly. This part right here, right here. This lower part is striking your opponent. So it's not like this, it's like this, a little bit like this. If you're pushing your opponent, usually, what part of your hand is contacting your opponent? Your palms, right? Your palms. palms. I always feel this part as important because in our form of Tai Chi, we're usually pushing people up. So, if you're pushing somebody up, you'd have to have it here, but it actually is the whole thing. So it's the same hand, right? It's the same hand, but it's kind of one ends up turning a little bit this way and one ends like that. So just wanted to give that little detail to folks. How are we doing? Anything else? Dorothy, you missed out on last week. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. Just need more practice. That's for me. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I get that. I get that. Don't worry. There will be lots of times. The start of section 2 has these moves in it. The start of section 3, with one exception, pretty much has these moves in it too. So don't worry. You're gonna see a lot of these things as time goes on. All right. Well, are we ready for something else? So I just want to say this is one with some interesting footwork. But I'll show it to you first. Oh, affectionately, when I learned this, it took me, they said it was called diagonal flying. When I learned this, I decided it was step back and throw frisbee. So I'm going to show you both of them. So here we are. We finished here. And we're going to do diagonal flying. So we're going to push our weight back. We're going to start to turn to the corner. We're going to close our arms and step this amazing step. Just wait. Then you got your frisbee here, right? You're going to throw your frisbee. Okay? So if you ever have trouble with this footwork, maybe we'll do some of that later today. I'm going to, you can just imagine that right here, I've got the sticky hand and the frisbee comes into it. And then I'm stepping back and I'm throwing this frisbee. And you notice that whole big body turn. So where do I end up? Oh, look, it looks like a bow step to the corner. Not quite, because Master Yang himself has said recently, this is kind of an impossible footwork. So perfect would be if this toe was here and this one was here, but I didn't quite make it. I almost made it, right? So anyway, if I turn this foot into the same direction, parallel, railroad tracks, and I bring it up, I'm shoulder width apart, and I'm pretty much going out in this corner. So we'll talk more about that footwork. I want to just show you again sort of what we're doing here. We're circling our arms. So my left arm is coming up, making this big circle, and then I'm closing. This one is right here. It could protect my face. It's right here. I still have my body shape. If I can't, look at this foot, it's not there yet. I'm cheating at the moment, my right foot. But I could do this if I have to. You can too. All right. So that's one of the things that you can do. You can also not make it all the way around. So I'm going to show it to you from a different angle so you can see these arms a little bit better, right? So you're starting here. The arms are circling. I'm stepping. Notice how this looks. It looks like I've stepped behind me. Behind me, doesn't it? look at that. Isn't that interesting? And if you stand and look this way, you're going to see this in a minute when we work on this footwork. You'll see that these feet from this direction, which is very easy because there's a wall there, just looks like this foot, sort of like this foot is this way, but it's turned. But it turns out it's a bow step to the corner. So it's another way you can recognize your bow step. It's not going to look like a bow step necessarily, but you've got to get oriented this way and imagine bringing that foot parallel and bringing it up. And then you see yourself standing in the corner. So what are the arms doing? Let's go to the easy stuff first. So we're here. So if you want to play with me, right? We're here. We're gonna think of a big blob, a big blob. We could do it on both sides, a big blob. And you know, it's like floating in the air. Keep those elbows down. Keep those elbows, nice correction. Yeah. Keep your body shape. So it's kind of like this, right? So we start here. We're going to start in a different place. We're going to start here. And then we're going to like caress this big blob and then come across. The other way we can think about it, is, hang on. The other way we can think about it is your left arm is coming up, pressing that ball. The right arm is coming down. And then your right arm kind of scoops across. And your left arm comes across. This happens a lot. This happens a lot in our Tai Chi, that the arm is coming across. What's actually happening here is somebody's coming from over there, and they're going to punch at me. I'm going to connect with them, go over their arm, and then if I were really doing it, I grab their arm here. Nope, they're coming from behind me. I'm sorry. They're coming from behind me. So I'm going to step, and as I come over here, I'm going to go over their arm, switch, get their arm in my hand this way. And then it's really hard to visualize, but I've sent you a link for it. Then I've got one of their arms here, and I'm pulling them into me at the same time I'm hitting out. So I'm hitting them either here or here. I'm sending you links to two videos where you can see that being done. So one is Master Yang and his grandfather is explaining it. You have to read the subtitles, but it's kind of cool. And then one of them is Pierre doing it. So I'm not sure if that helps or not in this, but let's just do, excuse me?
You
What?
haven't
Go
sent
ahead.
those yet, Dee Dee?
No, they're coming out. They're coming today.
Cool.
You'll
I
have
just
them
think I
today.
didn't see them, that's all.
No. You'll see them because we haven't done this move yet. Yeah. I just wanted to motivate you for that. So here is our right hand. So we're here. See if you can do it with me. And we're just gonna do this, right? That's the first part. And then, just for now, don't worry about the footwork. Then you're gonna throw a Frisbee with the right arm. You're gonna turn your upper body when you throw it, right? You're gonna throw it. And as you do, you're gonna pull this other, you would be grabbing another person's arm and it would be coming down here. You'd be pushing down in the end. So it would be looking like this, right? If I was high-fiving you, yeah. The end, it would be more like this. So this is your right hand, right? Right hand. And it would be like this. But it's not like this. It's you're wound up. You're wound up. You're wound up. You're like a spring. And the spring goes the other way, right? You're flinging that arm with a body, with your body movement. You're like this, and then you fling that arm with your body's movement. Nice. Yeah. You're still keeping your body shape though. Okay? You're still keeping your body shape. So let's see, if we're doing it here now, I'm going to put this back on because you're not high-fiving me anymore, but we're going to do the same thing from here. Okay? Don't worry about your footwork. You're going to circle your arms, and just for now, just sort of step out anywhere. Doesn't matter. You're here. Put your foot down, and then I want you to feel like you're turned away a little bit, because you will be, because you're stepping much bigger than this. And then I want you to shift your weight to your right foot and turn. So you're kind of turning more you're square, but you're actually going to turn a little beyond square. And look what's going to happen. This hand's going to be right in front of you here. Yeah, look at that. It ended up there, didn't it? Okay, so that's you really can't do it until you do the whole thing. So let's look at this footwork. I think we should do it from here. So let's try this. So no, we should do it from here. Okay, so buddy up with me. So here we are. And what you're going to imagine doing, my advice to you, first of all, you are going to turn at some point, here's some tips. At one point, you're going to be turning your upper body to the right. I'll tell you when that's happening. It will help with keeping your balance. So you're going to be turning your upper body to the right. But the first thing you're going to do is take your weight off of your front foot, put it on your left foot, lift your front foot up, and just bring it to neutral. Then you're going to step sort of behind yourself and put your heel down. Just for now. You can open it if you can. But notice my weight is entirely here. And I want you to make sure that your eyes are still going to be in this direction for a while. So despite what we said about gaze, just practice this for a moment. Like you're going to bring it in and then reach back and look down and make sure your knee is still over your toes. It hasn't drifted towards this way at all, okay, to the right at all, right? If you can, really open your crotch up. That'll allow you, nice, that'll allow, nicely done. Those of you I can see. Okay, so that's what you're doing. If you watched it this way, you see how much I opened and then I closed my crotch. Watch this one more time. I opened both sides of my crotch. I step back and open. And when I do, I have to open all of this, but this opens too. Do you see? It's very hard to stand here. And then you're like stuck. But notice how my chest is turning too. So watch the chest. It does not move, but it turns as to the corner. as I put my heel down, that allows me to make the turn. It's really hard to stop in the middle of it. Okay, so we're just going to try it. You don't have to go all the way. Don't worry. If you just go, so your foot points that way, it's just fine. So let's try it. We're going to put our weight back so it's all on this foot. Bring the right foot back. Step behind us and put our heel down. Turn, 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 turn. Put your foot down and shift your weight, and then bring your other foot over. Now you're actually going to probably close that foot while you're shifting your weight as you get better at it. But for now, it's probably a good way to do it. Let's try it again. Shift back. Step back. Don't step. Grab with the heel wherever that goes. Don't cross your feet. And open. And shift your weight and turn your foot. Try it again. Here we are, nicely rooted in the front. Give a little push with that heel. Bring the foot in. Reach back with the heel. Open up. Shift and turn. Now, if we put it all together, what actually happens is you come back, start the turn of your upper body. Once you're past your foot in the center as you're reaching, then you can more easily put this right foot to the corner. This takes only about 400 practices to get. Does not take 10,000. So don't worry. You've now had 3 or 4. Yes, sir, Lynn.
Okay, so just to be sure, when I'm reaching back with this foot, I'm not doing a toe heel. I'm doing a heel. I'm touching with my heel first, reaching with my heel.
Unless you're Master Yang, he just steps back and puts his whole foot down. Sue just did it. Sue just did it. So see, there you go. Eventually, you will be able to maybe. It looks like I put my whole foot down, but the truth of the matter is it's heel ball toe.
Is that so we want heel ball toe, or do we want? Okay, great. Okay, yeah.
Which is weird, right? Because when we're going backwards the other times, we do it the other way. Yes. Yes. You are so observant. It's just amazing. Thank you. I hadn't thought of that. This is like the exception that proves the rule. Okay, so we're going to do one more of these. All right. 2 more of these. We're going to push back, be balanced. Balance, turning, 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 turning that foot. Let's do it again. At some point, we'll get really tired too. So if you're getting tired, you just have to make everything shorter. And push back, have your balance, reach back, turning, 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 turning. Okay. Now, you might don't worry if you're not in the good bow stance. But once you check it, you're going to take your left foot, pretty much keep your heel where it is. Get your direction of your foot about the same direction. They may not be to the corner as your right foot is pointing. Imagine railroad tracks and then come up. So if your feet are more than probably 6 inches apart, you're doing fabulous. If it's your first time, just fabulous, because it's a really confusing thing, right? It really is. It really is. All right, let's try to put our hands with it. So again, from here, Our arms are going to circle. The right one down and scooping, the left one coming up, and you're closing. Look what happened. That heel goes back at that same time. Then as I am shifting my weight and doing the final turn, that's when I'm throwing the Frisbee. Stopping like that, it was really bad of me to have you stop like that, because that's when everybody's going to lose their balance. So we're not going to stop like that again. Okay? So if you lost your balance, congratulations. That was my bad, not yours. Here we go. And arms circling, foot to neutral, arms closing, heel touch, and throw that Frisbee. If you're having trouble, as soon as your foot gets to here, start the turn and the opening here. As soon as your foot gets here and it's still reaching back, start your openings and keep your weight forward and start turning your upper body. But you don't start turning your upper body until you get on your Tai Chi pole, right? You're not on your Tai Chi pole until you get past that neutral point. Okay, so let's try it again. And coming to neutral, turning and rowing.
Edie,
Yes.
can you explain the Tai Chi pole to me, please?
This is Kelly's brilliance. She says,
I've not done a Tai Chi class with Kelly.
you haven't done well. So when we do this, for example, she talks about she doesn't say go into the corner, I do, but now turn on your Tai Chi pole. So when you're turning, when your Tai Chi pole, this is the best way to see it. Your Tai Chi pole is between above your head, through your spine, down to your foot.
Center line. Just the center line.
Right. When you're on one foot and you're turning, you got to be stacked over whatever you're turning on. So if you start turning when you're here, I mean, you could turn a part of your body if you're rooted. That's not a problem. But if you're moving at the same time, and you have to be turning now, right? You have to be turning when everything is aligned. And even if you move this foot back, you've still got to have the Tai Chi pole here first until you get that root back there.
Yeah.
That will help you not fall. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. It's Kelly's words, and I thought they were great. I use them probably more than she does. So everybody has their own. All right. Erlyn, do you have a question? Just really thinking hard. I could see. Okay. Are we doing okay? Because I know this left one is probably really doing it. All right, let's go. Let's do it again. We are coming onto our Tai Chi pole and circling, turning, reaching, and throwing, closing that left foot. Let's check this one. The left foot is going to sort of keep the heel where it is and turn in until the toes are facing the same railroad tracks. Imagine the railroad tracks and then step up on them. And you should be somewhere. And if you're here, that's just wonderful. And if you're here, that's okay too. If you're all the way here, strive to be past it. Strive to get closer. But Master Yang has said this is really pretty close to impossible footwork. Let me tell you why. Not only do you have to open here, and I don't have anything to hold on to here. I have good balance, but you would want to hold on. See, I'm holding on to my imaginary chair. This is a good thing to do. Hold on to another imaginary chair. Don't you hold on to an imaginary chair if you've never done it before. But Shelley, you can. But, or if you've done something similar, like if you're a dancer, all right? You can also open these guys by, you know, sitting in lotus position or doing the butterfly thing on the floor, right? Try to keep your lower back straight, all of that stuff. That will help. So there's all that. That could be a reason why you're having some trouble in it. But the other reason is this. See where this left foot starts? This other foot in a perfect world ends up 180 degrees away from it. 180, like trying to balance on a tightrope. So this is to this corner. And then, so I was here. Right? So it's supposed to be another degree or so this way. So this one's here, and this one started here. So they're in opposite quadrants. Yes.
I have a question. So is the thing about Tai Chi that there's a striving to be stable in every position the body goes through, or is there an acknowledgement that movement is part of that stability?
Ooh, I love your questions.
In other words, is there never supposed to be a moment where your body is in space that you're unstable, or is there an understanding that part of moving through a movement may have times when you simply aren't, you're just getting from point A to point B, and that in between space might be slightly vulnerable?
There will be spaces where you're vulnerable, but if you keep moving, you should be, we strive to not be vulnerable very often.
Okay.
But guess what? I'm vulnerable, right? If I stand on one leg, I'm vulnerable, right? So that's
Okay.
there. I have never heard anyone talk about that. But my answer is, and you will feel less vulnerable the more you have done it. So this is a brand new move. And most of us go through this like funky learning curve with this one, where you start to get it and then it goes away, and then you get it and then it goes away, and you're forgetting one key thing. And it's just like, especially that turning is just, the turning helps to give you stability. All right, so we're going to do this one more time, and then we're going to do everything we know in the second section. Here we go. And in the second section, let's see, where do we start the second section? I think we're going to start over here, something like this. All right, here we are. Cross hands, good body shape. Look through those eyes. You mean your Tai Chi, you're going to master this. And embrace tiger, return to mountain, shifting right, turning right. We're going to circle our arms like a brush knee, stepping out, looking where we're striking, and roll back. Press. Push. Fist under elbow. Grab, pull. It's just like single whip, except that foot is to 12 o'clock and pushing out. Now it's all different. Step to the corner, ward off to the corner, rotate that left arm, grab and fist under elbow. Repulse monkey, right arm back, left foot back, and pull, turn. Left arm back, right foot back to the shoulder, palm up and pull, turn. One more, repulse that monkey. Remember, it's about the pull. Your power comes from the turn and shifting weight. Diagonal flying. Our arms are circling. We're scooping with that right arm. We're turning and throwing. Left hand in front of our left hip. Gazing out at the tips of our fingers, probably past the tips of our fingers. You're going to love this move. Guaranteed. It's just really lovely.
Dee Dee?
Yes.
How high are your fingertips at the very end? How high can they?
I see, you can't really see it. Eye
Yeah.
height,
Okay.
I believe. Maybe forehead. But yeah, it's they're far enough away from you that they're I'm sort of gazing right through my fingertips.
Thank you.
Shelley, do you have a more of a word on that? Does that strike you? You don't know. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you do. Hang on. Oh, it was right. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Or
I think
okay.
you're spot.
Okay, spot on. Okay, thank you. Oh, I like that. All right, well, we are at the hour. So let's say goodbye. Good work today. This is a hard one.